One. Hello, everyone. This is Sam the Fight Man coming to you live from Columbus, Ohio. And as many of you know, last week I did a interview with my man Carl the Heat Hegman from Houston, Texas. He is a professional boxer and fought military as well. And at that time, we talked about the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight coming up. And I asked the viewers to give me their opinion on the interview that I did with Carl Hegman. So my friend over here, Zach McKeithen, who I've known for over, 30 years now. I went to high school with him. He saw it, and he has a couple of things to say. As a matter of fact, he doesn't agree with anything that we said, and he voiced his opinion strongly, and he wants an opportunity to make his opinion heard and his prediction. So, Zach McKeithen, I haven't seen you for a long time, but how you doing, buddy?
Hey, nothing for love for you, Sam.
I love you too, brother.
Yeah, we've been around for 30 years together.
Yes, sir.
And this is the perfect forum that we need to get reacquainted with. We talked earlier today about little aspects of what went on last week in your live feed. I want to clarify something. It's not that I disagree with everything. It's that certain points of the conversation, you guys were mixing personality with the sport or with the profession of boxing. In other words, you guys were speaking from the heart instead of looking at Floyd as a boxer in the sweet science.
So are you saying that me and Carl were biased in our opinions?
Okay. Biased in the opinion with this fact. There's not much love for Floyd in his personality.
And you agree with that?
And yes, I agree with that. You can either love Floyd or you can hate him. There's no middle ground in there.
But you can't ignore him.
You can't ignore him, and you can't ignore what he does in his profession. He's the best boxer. He can fit in any era as one of the greatest. That's where I'm coming from.
Okay, with that we disagree about, but we'll get to that in a moment. First, give me your take on the fight coming up this Saturday against Pacquiao.
Okay, I think now this is going to be the greatest fight, I'd say, in about 12 to 15 years. We're not going to take anything from that. And I've told you I'm a Manny fan and I'm a Floyd fan.
Right.
Okay. But I think Pacquiao is too careless in the way he fights that he cannot fight Floyd the way he's used to fighting others.
Right.
And that is what's going to get Manny in trouble, thinking he can go in there on Floyd anytime he wants. He's going to get caught. Floyd's the best defensive fighter and the best counterpuncher out there. Best counterpuncher in the game.
Well, Carl Hegman had mentioned the same thing in a sense. He said that Floyd Mayweather would pretty much pick him apart. He said that he's bigger and he's stronger. I happen to disagree with both of you. I feel that this is going to be a matter of activity. The will must be greater than the skill. Both of these guys are very skillful. But I think it's a matter of throwing volume of punches. Most opponents who fight Mayweather, they are looking for the knockout. Yes. They come into the ring looking for that knockout. And I think that's been one of their mistakes that they do. I don't think Manny Pacquiao is looking for that knockout. I think the matter of fact is this: to keep him against the ropes, throw a volume of punches, and win the rounds based on activity.
Right.
First thing. Second thing is, I know a lot of people want to talk about his last defeat against Marquez when he was knocked out in the fifth round. The fifth round. Now, I don't believe that Manny Pacquiao is going to come straight in. He will give him a lot of short side-to-side angles and pop him on the way in. Okay? This is what I believe is going to happen with this fight coming up on Saturday. It's a matter of volume of punches. Neither one of these guys have fought the caliber of the other. Okay? It's a toss-up. It is a toss-up. It's not a very easy fight to predict. But I
They
believe,
are like caliber opponents that they fought. They fought this, I'd say about 3 or 4 same opponents.
yeah,
Just so happened Floyd fought him before Pacquiao did.
yeah.
That's yeah. I think I don't care how a fighter prepares for a fight or prepares for a particular opponent. There's going to be a point in that fight where that fighter goes back to his instincts. And if Manny does that, he's going to be in trouble. At any point of that fight where Manny goes back to his instincts, Floyd will make him pay.
So you're trying to tell me he's going to time him coming in?
Manny does that every fight. No matter what Roach tells him, any fighter's going to go back to their instinct. Going to slip up and go back into their instinct. And that's what's going to make Manny pay. Floyd only has that one instinct to be a tactician and break you down with his defense, and then his defense converts into his offense.
Okay, answer this question for me. This is something that me and Carl talked about, or I don't want to mention too much because he doesn't know of the interview, and maybe he has objection to his name. But let me just say this: in my last video that I did regarding this, I question the fighter heart of a Mayweather. I question that. Your opinion?
Well,
and let me
heart. We got to define. We got to define. What is it about a fighter's heart that makes you question a fighter's heart? What is it that makes up a fighter's heart?
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things that I see with Mayweather is the money. He's just simply fighting for the money. There is no greater cause for him other than maintaining his undefeated record and the money. He's not fighting for a higher cause. Okay? I don't see Mayweather being able to withstand punishment if he had to take it. I don't see it.
Okay.
Take Victor Ortiz, for example. He quits very easily.
Right.
He quits very easily. Some of these fighters,
they fold.
Yeah, these fighters of today are not like the same fighters that me and you grew up watching. They're softer. Okay? They're softer. Okay? And when someone gets paid that type of money, it's good that he's able to make it, and at the same time, it could be detrimental against him. Because look, if he suffers a serious injury anytime throughout that bout, Floyd Mayweather is the type of guy who can say, look, I went in there, services have been rendered, I'm getting paid now. There's no reason for him to take punishment and to endure pain. He's mentioned before about Muhammad Ali's physical well-being now. He's mentioned that. And like any other person, any other athlete, he needs to be careful of his physical well-being. But people are paying big money, and they don't want to see someone who's just fighting for the money either. So I question his heart as a fighter. I've seen it before when he's been headbutted or whatever. He's made more of a bigger deal out of it than it really deserves. I just don't see him, like, for example, taking punishment, his jaw's broken or eye cut. I don't see him being able to withstand that type of punishment. There's an intangible that has to be measured that's hard to tell, but every fighter knows. And every real boxing student knows who's a real fighter and who isn't. He's the most talented fighter in the world today. But he's never fought a fighter like Manny Pacquiao who has a higher cause entering that ring. He has the entire country of the Philippines with him. And that's more to him than $100 million.
I hear what you're saying. I agree that Manny has a cause to fight for that may appeal to more of the masses than what Floyd has to fight for. But I don't agree that Floyd's main motivation is money. if it's money, what's the first thing that slips in a fighter? Is training. Okay?
Yes.
He does not take fights serious. Right?
Yeah.
Okay? And all that other junk that befell all the prime champions like Ali.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Ali got to a point where he didn't train.
Yeah, he was just trying for the money.
Coming to the fight, and the fight, you could throw tomatoes at him. Okay? That's when money starts to take over you.
Mm-hmm.
And your training lacks. You don't see that in Floyd. Floyd and Manny are the top two training camps in the world.
Right.
Okay? So you can throw out money's the motivation.
Okay, it's an interesting point you bring. Okay.
You can throw that out.
Okay.
Floyd's main object is to go down in history as the greatest fighter
He won't.
in any era.
That won't happen.
Okay, it won't happen, but that's his motivation.
Yeah.
That's his motivation.
He wouldn't hang with the fighters of the 70s or the 80s or even some of the 90s. He won't
But
hang.
he's mentioning that breath, but Manny isn't.
Well, okay. Well, Manny's more humble about it, but
he's not mentioned among the greatest of the 70s. He's not even compared to none of those champions.
Manny Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao is not even compared to those champions from the 70s.
Yeah, you're right.
In his own weight class.
You're right. You're right.
Exactly. Floyd is.
Okay. Let me tell you my reasoning why I'm picking Pacquiao. Me and you talked about it earlier, and I told you some of the common denominators that I include are the fighters that they both faced. Common opponents. Pacquiao has always finished them much sooner than Mayweather. Mayweather is not a hard hitter.
Which ones?
Well, take a look at Ricky Hatton. Take a look at Oscar De La
3
Hoya.
rounds. 3 rounds compared to 10.
2 rounds. He knocked him out in 2.
Well, 2. I'll give you 2 to 10.
Okay,
both KOs.
No. Listen, listen. The Mayweather knockout was a knockout. Okay, I'm not taking that away. The knockout that happened with Pacquiao, that was a damaging.
He knocked him down prior to that.
He was damaged. Ricky Hatton was damaged after that fight with Pacquiao. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
You got to take a look at Oscar De La Hoya.
Yes.
Mayweather took a split decision.
Exactly. At 154.
Okay. Now, what happened?
154.
What happened with Pacquiao? He knocked him out in 8 TKO.
De La Hoya had to drop 12 pounds to come down to Pacquiao's weight. That was the only reason Pacquiao would fight him. If De La Hoya came down from 154 to 142, how does that affect a natural middleweight losing 12 pounds to fight? It's his stamina, his strength, and everything else.
Listen, he was too fast for him, and De La Hoya even said it. He said he could not catch him.
Yes, Floyd will fight you at any weight you want to come in at.
Okay, I'm talking about Pacquiao now.
Okay, I'm talking about the common opponent,
Me
De La
too.
Hoya.
Okay, De La Hoya versus Pacquiao. Okay.
154 had to come down to 142 and 8 until last week's. Had to come down to 142.
Right, but even De La Hoya said he was just too fast.
I hope some boxers out there that's listening to that.
Okay.
And then that's hard. That's hard for a middleweight.
And then it is hard. It is hard.
And what do you lose when you do that?
You lose stamina. You lose power. You get weak.
That's why Pacquiao or De La Hoya said Pacquiao was the hardest puncher he ever faced.
Okay. Shane Mosley, he got nailed by Pacquiao. He said he never had been hit that hard.
Look at what he says between the both of them. Look at what Mosley says about the both of them.
He says, technically speaking, Mayweather, he believes he's a better fighter. He believes that. He should know because he's been in the ring with both of them. I just happen to see that Mayweather's legs are gone, and I happen to see that if he can keep Mayweather against the ropes, throw a volume of punches, do not stay in one spot, give him angles, I honestly believe he can beat him because he'll be coming in and out. You and Carl do make a good point that he can catch him coming in. I believe that. Okay, but there'll be some politics involved in this fight. The referee, the ring size.
Well, let's get back to the common opponent.
Sure.
Miguel Cotto. He fought Pacquiao as a welterweight.
Yeah.
What did he fight Floyd at? Light middle.
Yeah.
What was the results of both? What was the results?
Well, you got Floyd as the greatest fighter of all time.
I'm not saying of all time.
Yeah.
I'm just saying of this era. But I've got him in the talk of one of the greatest ever. He's in there. He's in the talk.
Uh-huh.
Manny isn't. Manny isn't.
No, Manny is.
Look at Floyd's weight classes.
Yeah.
He's in the talk of the greatest in all those individual classes, right?
Uh-huh. Listen,
Is Manny?
Pac is only 8-time world champion. 8 times.
We're talking about in the talk of the greatest fighters.
Name off like some of the greatest fighters. Name them off.
Salvador Sanchez.
Okay.
You think Manny can beat him?
Yeah.
Do you guys really think that?
Yeah, I believe Salvador Sanchez could beat him.
Okay, well,
Oh yeah.
how about
I mean, I tell you something. Duran.
At Duran's best?
Oh, Duran would eat him up.
Okay.
Duran would eat him up. Tommy Hearns would hurt him. He'd kill him.
At welterweight, yeah.
He'd kill him.
Right.
He'd kill both of these guys. Tommy Hearns. Sugar Ray Leonard. Whoop them both. It wouldn't be an easy fight, but he'd whoop them.
Exactly. But I don't think with Floyd, put it like this, if it was at the gate, I think there's a lot of people that would be up in the air on who won, who's going to win it. They wouldn't be too sure about if Hearns was going to win it.
No.
They wouldn't be too sure Sugar Ray would win that fight.
No.
Okay, I would be sure Hearns would whip Manny's ass, and I'd be sure Duran will whip Manny's ass, and I'd be sure that Sugar Ray would whip Manny's ass.
No.
That's the
No,
difference.
Zach, you're wrong, bro. You're
difference.
wrong. You're wrong. Listen,
Oh.
those guys would whoop both of them. They'd whip them both. You know, Aaron Pryor, he'd whoop Mayweather. Aaron Pryor. No one even mentions Aaron Pryor. He was one of the greatest fighters ever. He would whoop him.
What was Pryor on? You can't whip nobody on coke.
Man, forget that. He only lost one time. He only lost once at the end of his career.
Yes, because he got tested. He got banned. And then when he came off his ban, he wasn't allowed to do that stuff no more. But
I'm talking about boxing ability. I'm talking about boxing ability.
Pryor was the man. I think Pryor was the man.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron was the man.
Oh, yeah.
But we're talking Floyd and where he fits in and all this stuff. And Manny. When you start talking about these greatest champions ever, and they wouldn't fit in the 70s or beyond, I think out of them two fighters, Floyd has it hands down above Manny where he fits in the history. Floyd has it over Manny. There's no denying.
Yeah. I believe
The record speaks for itself.
the record speaks for itself. He's been good for the sport, I believe, in terms of a boxer. He's been good for the sport. You know, he wants to do drug testing and so forth. So that's good, man.
Yeah.
That's good. But you know, my prediction for the fight is still the same. Volume of punches will outdo Mayweather. Okay? I hear what you're saying, that he could time him coming in. The other time I did the video also, Carl also mentioned the same thing. It's a possibility. But moving away from that, you're trying to tell me, if we go into the 70s and the 80s, you're trying to tell, where do you see Floyd Mayweather? Who could he beat from the 70s or the 80s?
It depends on what weight class you're talking
Well,
about.
let's talk
Say middleweight with Hagler and those guys.
Yeah.
He'd be the bottom tier of those grades.
Okay.
But when you start going down, like your welterweights, your lightweights, he's up there, brother. He's up there.
Mm-hmm. So
I say he's the top three.
So
the top three.
No, I think you're giving too much credit for it. But let me ask you this: How would the fight play out with him and Roberto Duran? Who wins it?
It would be. See, the thing Duran had over anyone was he could get you out your game.
Yep.
Okay. So, and you can't ever underestimate that.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be a toss-up. It depends on where Floyd's head's at with Duran.
See, the reason I asked you for Duran on purpose, because I could say, okay, well, if you said Mayweather would beat Duran, then I could say, okay, well, Mayweather can beat Pac-Man. See, but you're not too sure about the Duran fight. Who would win?
Because I know Duran. I know what Duran's the master of.
Yeah, I know too.
Right.
Okay.
He can get in your head, get you off your game.
Yeah. He gets you. Yeah. I mean, Mayweather's not a punk like that where someone get in his head and all that stuff. I'm talking about styles.
Oh, when it comes to styles, he's got what it takes to beat Duran. If they fought 5 times, I think Floyd can win 5 times, but for sure 3. For sure 3. He can beat him 5 times, but for sure 3.
Okay. See, I think he played a little bait and switch on me over here.
Well, I'm just saying,
Yeah. No, see, I see Duran beating him every time.
Okay.
Okay, and Duran, I could say Duran almost has a comparable style like Manny Pacquiao. Almost. Not exactly, but almost. Almost.
Duran had defense, man. He had the bob and weave and all that.
Oh yeah, he had defense.
Manny doesn't have that.
I said similar, not exactly.
Well, that's the difference when you fight Mayweather. That's going to be the difference. That's why you can't hit Mayweather over Duran all the time. If Mayweather fought Manny 5 times, I tell you, Floyd will win it all 5 times.
So
because
okay, go ahead.
Because of Manny's style, he'll revert back to his instincts.
All right. So I saw them square off yesterday for photo ops, and what I saw was a Mayweather that was apprehensive. I don't want to use the word scared, but that's really what he looked like to me.
Yeah.
Manny Pacquiao to me looked calm, maybe even too relaxed, to me personally. Mm-hmm. So why don't you tell us how you see the first 3 rounds? I mean, break it down into quarters for us. It's a 12-round fight. Break it down into every 3 rounds or so. How do you see the fight going every 3 rounds? When do you see a turn, a shift in the fight? Just play it out for us, round by round, if you can.
Okay. Before I get to that, real quick.
Yeah.
I think this is all a ploy with Manny and Floyd about being calm and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. They know what's going on inside of each other.
Right.
Okay, this is the biggest fight for both of them.
Sure.
And there ain't going to be a rematch. There is not going to be one.
Well, that's a different topic, Zach.
I honestly believe it.
Okay.
So now, when they come out to fight, okay, I think Manny, he's a fast starter.
Yeah.
Manny's a fast starter. He'll hit Floyd with some shots, but nothing to be concerned with, enough to wake him up out of it. And Floyd will hit him with counter punches. They're going to feel each other out. It's going to be 10-9 rounds for the both of them. I say by the time the 5th round, Manny be up 3-2. But after that 5th round is when the decisive shift is going to happen. And it's going to be to Floyd's advantage. Floyd will start picking them apart.
Okay. So you see Floyd Mayweather as the winner?
Yes.
Okay.
And the only thing that would surprise me is if Manny gets through his defenses all 12 rounds unscathed.
Okay. I
That
told
would
you.
surprise me.
I told you earlier. The thing that would shock me is
Yes.
is how well Mayweather could take a punch from Manny Pacquiao flat on the jaw. Can he really
Okay.
withstand that? I want to see what happens to him when he gets hurt. Okay, I'm not counting Shane Mosley because Manny Pacquiao and Shane Mosley have two different fighting styles altogether.
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to be like a cobra all over him. Okay, so I'm be very, very interested to see how well he can take a punch from Manny Pacquiao. If he can withstand the power of Manny Pacquiao early and take a good shot on the jaw, you know, yeah, Floyd would have a pretty good chance of winning.
Okay, answer me this.
Yeah.
Since you're in a Manny camp, say if you were the trainer or in his corner, what would you be scared about or uneasy about what Floyd would bring to Manny? What would you be?
I would be scared of giving him too much room, standing still, getting hit with pot shots. I wouldn't want to give him too much room. I'd constantly want to give him angles. And I would definitely not try to hit him in the head. Okay. I would want to keep him covered up. I want to keep him defensive as much as possible. I want to put every round in the bag. Whether I have to steal a round or not, it don't matter. You know, volley of punches at the end or whatever. But I wouldn't want to give him the opportunity to stay in the center of the ring and do a walk and dance with me and pot shot me. I wouldn't want to do that. Okay, so Mayweather, for me, if I was a trainer of Manny Pacquiao, give him a lot of angles. He cannot come straight forward. He can't do that. He can't be reckless. A lot of body shots, mix the punches to the head and body. You got to wear those old legs out. Got to keep him covered up. See, Floyd Mayweather does not fight good on the inside. All them guys that he fought, they gave him all the distance he needed. So he looked great because he's better than them. You know, he's not an inside fighter. And Pacquiao has the legs to jump in and jump out, jump in and jump out. But it's not going to be straight. It's not going to be a line, a vertical line in a sense, a horizontal straight line. It has to be diagonal.
Mm-hmm.
So
now
this is
at any point, see, all you mentioned was Manny's instincts, jumping in and jumping out.
Well, because I know that's his style, but he comes in straight forward, just straight ahead. He can't do that with Mayweather. And if you take a look at the footage, I've seen some online footage of him training. He gives angles now. He's not moving in straight. Okay? So this is what I'm expecting. Floyd Mayweather, on the other hand, what I'm seeing is this. I'm seeing him hitting the heavy bag really hard, and he's training for power. He's not training. Mm-hmm. He has the speed. He has the God-given speed, but he is training for power. Okay? So I would agree with the assessment that he's trying to catch him coming in. Okay? So this is... but I still think that volley of punches, keeping him against the ropes, keeping him covered up, fighting on the inside, I think will beat him. You don't have to knock him out. I didn't say you have to give him a whoop and beat him from ring post to the other. I didn't say anything like that. Just throw volume of punches. And Manny Pacquiao throws much more punches per round than Floyd Mayweather does. And I think that's really going to be the key to victory for him. As long as he doesn't get caught with anything reckless. Okay?
For the most part, I agree with that. But I think at one point, Manny's going to go back to his instincts, and that's when it's going to be over.
No, that's luck. That's hope. You're hoping that he will do that. But if he can compose himself and he doesn't do that, it's a different story. That's a big if. It's a big if.
He's going to get touched up enough to where his game plan he would feel he had to alter.
They will both alter their styles. Both of them.
And Manny reverting back to that aggressive style, it's going to be over with. It's going to be over with. Floyd's going to catch him.
Listen,
He's caught everyone with that aggressive style.
Floyd Mayweather did not hit that hard. He does not hit that hard. It's not going to be a one-punch knockout like everyone's thinking, like it's not going to be that. It won't be that.
He's got enough to rock you and then finish you off.
Oh yeah, any punch can finish off a fighter. You get hit in the right spot, you can get knocked out. It don't have to be hard or anything like that. So look, you get hit anywhere from the jawline from here to here, around this area right here, you're gone. You know. And Marquez caught him with a punch he didn't even see.
Right.
You know. So I understand where you're coming from, and I can agree with that assessment, and I have respect for that. Now, you threw a lot of stuff at me a couple of days ago when you saw the tape. So go ahead and tell me what you told me, and I'm going to be willing to rebut it.
Okay. When you guys were talking about how Floyd compared to your 70s fighter,
yeah,
in the lower weight classes, some of the fighters that you threw out weren't even all that.
Like who?
In the 70s, in their own era.
Like who?
Like Pepino Cuevas.
Pepino Cuevas.
Cuevas is what I had known him as. Okay.
Uh-huh.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay. If I was a fighter of Floyd's caliber, I wouldn't want to be compared to him.
We never said that he would be compared to him. We said that his style, because Cuevas hit so damn hard, we said we don't know if he could take a shot from Cuevas.
He never fought anyone. The first time he fought somebody, he got put to sleep. Hearns.
Well, look, me and you talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
And look, that was a fight that was the result was given.
Yeah.
Tommy Hearns was a welterweight, but had a body of a light heavyweight.
Yeah.
Okay. Roberto Duran is much greater than Pepino Cuevas, and he was smashed in 2 rounds. Okay, a short fighter cannot beat a big, tall, lanky fighter like, especially with power, like a Tommy Hearns.
Well, it's just the fact that that's who Floyd had to be compared with.
They're always going to do that.
To be a great fighter in the 70s. No, he wasn't that himself. Cuevas wasn't that himself.
Well,
those are the issues that I had with this live feed last week.
Okay, and what?
Okay, there was no mention of Salvador Sanchez, who could whip Cuevas any day of the week.
And Mayweather.
He could take Duran most days of the week.
Let me tell you something. Salvador Sanchez was a great, great fighter. He was only 21, 22 years old when he died. He had a hell of a career waiting for him. Okay? Now, if we had to rank him up there, who would win between him and Floyd? They were both defensive fighters, but Salvador Sanchez had some crisp, solid, hard shots.
Yeah.
Okay?
It'd be hard for any fighter to beat him.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are.
He was a tough fight. Now, just because we didn't mention him doesn't mean we forgot him.
That's who you should have mentioned, is what I'm saying. If you're a fight connoisseur, that's who you should have mentioned in those lower weight classes. There was none like him.
Well, he didn't stay around long enough, Zach, so that's why.
He was long enough to be 26-0.
Yeah. I mean, but his name was not forgotten or omitted or anything like that. Maybe just in the heat of the conversation, his name didn't come up.
Well, it should have, is what I'm saying. Now, this was on me to explain.
Yeah.
Some of the issues I had with this live feed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what else you told me?
And the second thing is, when I'm starting to hear about Floyd's personality, is the reason why he's not going to win this fight. His outside personality has nothing to do with boxing.
Well,
he's a punk. He's this. Just because he beats women.
Well, let me put it
what great fighter didn't do that? Did Ali do that?
No.
He didn't.
No, he cheated.
You need to ask his first wife. He
He cheated. Hold on. He cheated on women. Muhammad was
And
a
he
playboy.
smacked her around.
Wait a minute. Muhammad was a playboy. Wait a minute. I don't want to say too much. I can't say too much about a public figure. Okay, but he wasn't loyal in a sense. Okay, 100%. But let me tell you this. As a man, Muhammad Ali was much more than Floyd Mayweather will ever be.
But my point is, you guys were lumping his personality into his profession.
Well, you know, Zach, it's like this. Some people still hate Ali because he didn't go to the army. Okay? Some people will not admit anything about Ali, how great he was in the ring, because he didn't go to the army. Or because he's became a Muslim, or whatever the case may be. Now, he became vindicated as time went on. People love a winner who's willing to pay the price for what they believe in and come out on top. And Muhammad did that. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, Floyd Mayweather, what does he do? He makes people resent him. Why? Not because of the fancy houses or cars he has. Just the way he tosses his money around. Most common people who are paying the $100 pay-per-view or whatever for Saturday night don't have that type of money. Okay? Okay, listen. There's something called being humble for what you have. Okay? Right. He's not humble. We gave him that money. The money didn't fall from the sky. We gave him that money.
Let me tell you this.
You understand?
Now, didn't you say Floyd fought nobodies, right? Pretty much bums.
Well, we said they're handpicked.
For the last 7 years, right? About bums. We can safely say that.
I can't say they're bums. I can't say...
Not that caliber.
No.
Or a championship fight.
No, I can't. Yeah, they were handpicked. A lot of his opponents were handpicked.
Now, don't you think Floyd has to sell himself some way to get tickets?
Sure.
Okay, and what's the best way to sell yourself? Be the villain.
Of course.
Make him come. Make him come. It's smart. He ain't got nobody to fight.
Look,
to bring the game.
It's the oldest.
That extra dimension.
It's the oldest trick in the world. Oldest trick in the world to be a villain. People will come out to see you get whooped, and he don't care as long as he goes to the bank. He don't care. Right. But
money isn't his driving force in his training and all that. He still wants to be the best in history.
You got to give him credit for that. Hey, that phrase, hard work and dedication, has paid off. And it's a common phrase that you hear now people talk about, hard work and dedication. He's a good in terms of athletics, but he rubs people the wrong way.
Yes, and this is coming back to your live feed. That's what I had issues with when you're combining.
I'm not saying that Floyd Mayweather is any less of a fighter or any great fighter because of his personal, what he does outside of the ring. The only thing that I take an issue with is when he said last week that he's greater than Muhammad Ali and greater than Sugar Ray Robinson. Okay?
I don't Muhammad Ali say he was greater than damn near everybody.
No. Yeah.
Yes, he did. He was young, Cassius Clay. He said he was the greatest.
But he didn't lie.
Okay. He's one that told you, I'm so fast, I'm so pretty, I had Cosell calling me truculent. I didn't even know what that meant. But if it's good, I'm that.
Okay. Well, listen.
That's at 21. That's 21.
I understand Floyd Mayweather's where he's coming from. He has to pump himself up. I understand that, okay? But but look, boxing people know he ain't no greater than Muhammad Ali. You know, Mike Tyson yesterday, he said
he's great.
Mike Tyson said yesterday he's delusional. And he said in order to be great, he said you have to be accepted by the people. Floyd Mayweather overall is not accepted by the people.
Tyson was.
You know, he had his issues too.
Everybody hated Tyson when he was a boxer.
But look what he changed himself.
Everything.
He changed.
Yeah, he's out of boxing when he became a nobody.
He changed in boxing. Yeah, he's loony. You know, he's a little loony, but he's loved. He changed.
Now.
Yeah.
But he's not boxing. I'm talking about as a boxer.
As a boxer, I had no issues with Mike Tyson.
Tyson can never say anything bad about a boxer.
Well, Mike Tyson.
What he's saying about Floyd, he can never say that.
Mike Tyson respects other boxers who fought when he was fighting, and he still does respect other fighters. But he's just speaking his mind. Look, Evander Holyfield believes Manny Pacquiao will win. Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali believes he'll win, and Muhammad Ali is saying that maybe Manny Pacquiao will win not because of just fighting style, but because of what I mentioned to you earlier in the beginning and what I mentioned to Carl before. The intangible. He stands for something far greater than the ring. Far
That's
greater.
it.
You
That's
have to
it.
stand for something.
Look at the people who think Floyd will win hands down.
Those suckers are in for a big surprise.
Sugar Ray Leonard,
I do.
Roy Jones Jr.
Well, you brought up. You got to bring your head up. Okay, let me ask you this. I mean, Roy Jones. Who's going to win with that?
With
Mayweather, for example.
Roy got a glass chin.
He ain't got no.
Roy got a glass chin.
Well, okay.
So you tell me who's gonna win that? You tell me.
Roy had talent, man.
He got a glass jaw.
He ain't got no glass jaw.
Glass jaw. Glass jaw.
He just couldn't overcome that defeat against Antonio Tarver. But no, he ain't got no glass jaw. You know, maybe he got a little damage in that fight.
He got knocked out by Tarver twice and a nobody again.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And it's like this.
Well, if you get hit in the right spot, Zach, you know, you trained as a fighter. You know you get hit. You sparred. You hit the heavy bag. You told me that. You get hit in the right spot. It don't have to be hard. You gone.
You asked me about Roy Jones and Floyd, who would get in the ring.
Yeah.
Don't you think Floyd will touch that jaw at least 3-4 times?
Oh, yeah, he's going to touch him.
Okay, guess what's going to happen?
Well, I can't predict who exactly that Mayweather's going to knock him out. I don't think he'd knock him out.
Or the fight gets stopped.
No. My man had talent. My man Roy had big time talent.
Yeah, he sure did.
He got more talent than Floyd Mayweather in his best days. Back then. Not anymore, but back then.
How far are you talking? I'm talking Floyd at 38, Roy at 38.
Oh, no, 38. Look, you know, everybody...
That's how old he is now, and that's what people are comparing.
Yeah, look, Floyd Mayweather is well preserved as a fighter. He is well preserved, well trained, and I give him that. That's the biggest advantage he got going in this fight.
Floyd is just about as big as any fighter at the same age he is.
Who's that?
Name one.
Who?
Any fighter. Name one.
Say that again.
At 38.
Oh, no, it's hard. No.
Yeah. That's ever been better than Floyd.
The only person I could think of off the top of my head would be like Archie Moore. Back in the fighters of the 50s and 40s, you know, those are the fighters. But first would come to my mind would be Archie Moore. Other would be Bernard Hopkins, but I would say Archie Moore. Archie Moore fought till he was 54.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you see how far you have to go back?
Yeah. No, look, he is well conditioned for this.
Yes.
Okay, but you know, look at 30.
And he's no spring chicken.
No, he's not. And look, sometimes you lose it in one night. When you step in the ring and it's all over. You can
look at the mirror before the fight and tell if you're gonna win or not.
Well, what I saw, I mean, it'll show up tomorrow. Will be the weigh-in, and I'll be curious to see how they look. And I'm just holding for all who are watching this. I'm just saying this. I see a Mayweather who's quiet. He says that he's quiet because he doesn't need to sell the fight. The fight's already been sold. It got sold out in 1 minute.
Yeah.
Tickets were sold out.
Right.
But what I see is a Floyd Mayweather who's still, he approaches Manny Pacquiao a little bit nervous. I see that. And I think what I'd like to do is end with some of the politics of the fight game that me and Carl talked about last week. One of the things we said was the referee might become a factor, which is Kenny Bayless. And I personally don't think that there would be a problem with him, even though he tends to break them apart a little too much, and that could be a factor against Manny Pacquiao. I also mentioned that the ring size
Yeah.
might be if it's bigger than normal. If it's bigger than normal, that's going to hurt Manny Pacquiao.
Right.
And there's a politics where Mayweather does not control. If they can bring in a $300 million fight, well, what happens if he loses? You know, they could have a rematch,
Right.
and it's possible. Now,
Right.
Evander Holyfield said boxing will not leave a fighter who's undefeated go out undefeated. The politics must come into play, and he feels a rematch might take place by having Mayweather defeated. Now, these are all hearsay. This is all stuff that cannot be verified. This is just everyone's opinion.
Yeah, I can't say I'm well versed into the politics of boxing, like who was named referee, who's named the judges. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, you're talking about just a skill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Now, and all those things can happen in boxing. We all know that.
Yeah.
But from what I see from Manny and the way he conducts himself in any fight, I know it's not going to be the same because this is a different caliber of fighter that he's fighting.
Yeah.
So how soon will Manny revert back to his old ways? That's going to be key.
Okay.
And I think Floyd is such a tactician that he will make Manny revert back to his old ways. And then that's when it's going to be from the 6th round on. It's going to be all Floyd.
Okay. Well, we got two people here saying that Floyd Mayweather will win. I'm the only one picking Manny Pacquiao. Carl is saying that he'll pick him apart. You are hoping that he will come in straight ahead and Floyd will pick him apart. This is what you're saying. He'll revert back to his old style. This is what you're saying. Reckless style. This is what you're saying. And by 6 rounds. And I'm simply saying that volume of punches by Manny Pacquiao. He'll give him angles, keep him up against the ropes, keep him covered up. It'll become a matter of volume of punches.
Okay.
Volume of punches. That if he can do that, withstand that type of activity, then I think Manny Pacquiao can win. I'm not looking for a knockout. I'm not saying that he has to knock Mayweather out. Okay? But in the closing rounds, I personally see the closing rounds, whoever can finish the strongest is going to take this fight. This is a championship rounds. Those last 3 or 4 rounds are the championship rounds. But either way, I think it'll be a close, hard-fought fight. I do expect to see Mayweather hold a lot. I expect him to hold him a lot. And I think the factor of the referee may come into play if he just breaks them up repeatedly. If that's the case, Mayweather has an advantage, big time. Because it's going to take the same effort to get back in there. Okay? So it's a toss-up, but based on the best scenario that I see and from the tapes that I've seen of Manny Pacquiao, I think he has a style to beat him. No one else can beat Floyd Mayweather except Manny Pacquiao.
Exactly. I agree with that.
Yeah.
There's no one out there except these two for these two.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody that can beat Pacquiao but Floyd.
Well, Pacquiao's been defeated before.
Yeah, but I'm just leaving that out the equation.
Yeah.
But the fights that he's lost, he can fight them 10 times and win 9.
Yeah. And one of them was even very, very controversial also. So that may not even count really as a loss. But in any case, he's been defeated. But the only man that can beat Floyd Mayweather outside of Floyd Mayweather himself is Manny Pacquiao. And he has the style to do it. He has the speed to do it. And he definitely has the power to do it. So it's easy to go with the favorite. It's very easy to go with the favorite. There's been a lot of upsets in boxing. You know, Foreman was supposed to annihilate Ali. Liston was supposed to annihilate Cassius Clay. James Douglas was supposed to get brutalized and killed by Mike Tyson. These are just examples popping off the top of my head. So sometimes the favorite doesn't always win. It's easy to pick the favorite.
Right.
You know, so I see intangibles, and like I said, one of the things that I doubt is Mayweather's heart. A lot of people are not going to agree with me on that. They're not going to agree with me on that. They're going to say, "Oh, he's 47-0." There's something there that only a talented eye can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, I just don't see that he's durable. He's not as durable as the fighters that I watched growing up, or that you watched growing up, of the 80s or the 90s. No, he's soft. He's soft because he has his way. He's not used to people saying no to him. He's not used to being tested. Them days are gone.
You can only fight what's put in front of you.
Yeah.
And if you take on all comers, that's all you can do.
That's all you can do. I'm not down on that. He did that. He did that. But sometimes, man, you meet your biggest challenge and you're not going to have it all your way. You're not going to have it. You're going to get tested.
It would be different if Floyd was 38 and Manny was 26.
I understand what you're saying.
But there's 38, 36. Ain't nothing Manny going to do surprise Floyd. There ain't nothing he's going to do.
Vice versa. It's vice versa. But the only man who can whoop him, who stands a good chance of whooping him, is Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
I see signs of Manny Pacquiao slipping too. But a fighter who relies on speed, not necessarily power, because punching power is the last to go. If a fighter who hits hard, that's the last thing to go. But when a fighter relies on speed, he becomes more and more vulnerable to defeat.
Right.
Okay? And Manny Pacquiao also has speed also. He's not a pushover. But it's easy to pick the favorite. It's easy to pick the man who's not defeated.
No,
it's easy. So most of the public is going that way, and you're one of them. I'm not going that way. I see signs of Mayweather. I see signs.
I'm not picking Floyd because of his record. Let's go on record of saying that. I'm picking Floyd because of the style of fighter he is. He's a defensive fighter first, and his offense is rolled off the defense.
Yeah.
That's hard to beat. That is hard to beat.
Well, I want to see what his heart is made out of.
Well, Manny's got to get him there.
Got to get in there, yeah.
And it's like that age-old saying that I told you. You got to bring some ass to get some ass.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, Manny's got to do that.
But I'll tell you,
he's got to roll the dice.
I'll tell you one thing.
He's going to start rolling it in the 7th and 8th round.
I'm going to tell you something right now. Manny Pacquiao is not afraid of Floyd Mayweather at all. It's the reverse. It's the other way around.
I don't think none of them's afraid of each other.
Yes, they are. You don't look close enough. You don't look close enough. I got the trained. I'm not counting my own horn. I got the trained eye. He's scared. He's unsure. You mark my words. You mark my words. You play what I say. You watch what happens Saturday night.
Well, I'm gonna call you when they're in the locker room before they come out, and then you tell me. And then you tell me then.
You gonna be watching it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why wouldn't I watch that?
I don't know what you doing, man.
Watch that. I got this one guy right here in my ear. Oh, I'm watching it.
Okay, now you're talking.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Can't miss this.
So, you got anything to say before we split and end this? And I want people to remember this conversation between me and you, because I'm going to promote this as a toe-to-toe between me and Zach.
Okay, now, you was a good opponent, but you came up short. You know, hey, most people do. So, go back to the gym, do a little more, some more push-ups, some more sit-ups, and I'll give you a rematch someday.
Okay, listen
if
here.
If the money's right, because that's where my heart's at.
Look here, man, I'm going to give you a rematch Monday. The Monday following the fight, man. You better be right, or you in for a fight.
Okay. All right, Sam.
All right, man.
Fans, we'll talk to y'all later.
Yes, sir. And we'll have this up on YouTube and Facebook by tomorrow.
Just to hear what the opinions are.
Yeah, we want to hear your opinions. Let us know what you think. and me and Zach will answer them.
Okay.
Good?
All right.
All right, my man.
Okay. We'll talk at you.
Yes, sir. Peace out, baby.
All right. See you.